Looks like we got a camera problem. Sorry. Hey, how's it going? Hey, I got swords. Hey, there I am. Hey guys. Hey Ruby, how's it going? Ruby Gaming? Yeah, I'm here. Hey, I got swords, what's up? Said you have your volume all the way down, alright? I will just not talk about you in any which way other than terrible ways. You can't hear me. I guess it's free. Free bashing on I Got Swords. Oh, want some good news? Yeah! What's some good news? I like good news. I don't like bad news. What's the good news? You got a desktop. Awesome. Where'd you get one? And a good one too? Nice. No more throttling. Cyberpower PC. Nice. I actually just did a stream. My last stream was about iBuyPower. But Cyberpower does a couple of the similar things. So just take a look at that. Just for things to maybe keep an eye on. Nice. Well, all right. So today we're just going to be building the winner of Drudge's PC giveaway. He gave away this wonderful horsepower PC. It actually was supposed to have a 3070 in it, but we'll go through the specs here. So the spec sheet, as states, we have our Ryzen 9 5900X. Looks like we have another camera that is froze up. I don't get why it's doing this. Like, I even went through a bunch of extra processes to make sure that this wasn't happening, and it's still doing it. There we go. Hopefully we don't have any other cameras that are froze up. But we have a Ryzen 9 5900X. This is a 12-core, 24-thread beast. So it's got plenty of horsepower for anybody that is going to be using this PC, which we know who the winner is. Just don't know if he wants his name provided. So just keeping the names out for the winner. But the winner will enjoy this because he can stream on this, he can game on this, and it's a very solid platform. The motherboard that we're going to be using is a MSI MPG X570S Edge Max Wi-Fi. This is a great motherboard because it has pretty much all the features that you'll ever need on this platform. So it's a great board, as well as great addressable RGB lighting featured on the board. And then next, the RAM. We are doing 32 gigabytes of DDR4, and this is 3600 megahertz, I believe. Double checking on the list, even though I'm holding it right in front of me. Yes. 32 gigabytes, 3600 megahertz, 2 sticks. Each stick is 16 gigabytes, so it's got quite a bit of RAM. Plenty of RAM to do pretty much anything you need to on the system. 16 gigabytes is pretty much your base for gaming, and it's double that, so you should be able to game and stream on it perfectly fine. Next up, we have a Gen 4 M.2 SSD. This is 1 terabyte storage, so plenty of storage to get started. The board has plenty of storage options on it, so you can add, I believe, up to 2 more M.2 drives, or at least 1 more for sure. And then there's a bunch of SATA options as well for additional storage. Or if you wanted to, you could go through the process of upgrading 1 terabyte to a different size as well. The graphics card today, we are building with a MSI to keep the same theme anyway with the aesthetics. We have an MSI motherboard. We're going with an MSI graphics card, and this is the MSI GeForce RTX 3070 Ti. We were supposed to get a 3070, but there weren't any 3070s in stock anywhere, specifically MSI, because I wanted to keep it MSI. I'd already ordered the board, so we got a 3070 Ti for a few more dollars. Not that big of a deal. And it's a free upgrade to the already free giveaway system. Go figure. But we have 3070 Ti here. This is 8 gigabytes, I believe 256-bit PCIe 4 card, and it's GDDR6. The Ti didn't make, I think, quite the 6X. Check that on the box. I got destroyed, by the way. And now it's just GDDR6, not the X. So, oh, it is 6X. Never mind. Scratch that. Couldn't remember. So it is GDDR6X. Outside of that, we have a 1000 watt, 80 plus gold, 1000 watt. This is the black cube. And there goes one of the fans. Awesome. And the cooler itself, that we're going to be using. If you haven't already used this cooler, this is an award-winning cooler in 2022. This cooler has the most, I'd say, maximum cooling performance you'd get on these higher-end chips. So this is the Arctic Liquid Freezer 2, 360 millimeter AIO, has addressable RGB fans included in it, has a 6-year warranty right out of the box from the manufacturer, which is Arctic. Arctic actually used to be really big into the game. Then they kind of, I don't know what they were doing for a while. And then all of a sudden they came out with these coolers, and they are just absolutely amazing. So, cheers to them for putting together an excellent product. I think they come in different colors. This one is in black, but I believe they come in white as well. They're just really, really hard to get. Yo, 3070 Ti, good, I can say, because I have one. It's an Asus TUF. Yes, Asus TUF is awesome. Good morning. It is actually not morning anymore, unless that's the time that you define. I'm here watching it to be built. Dang, yeah. All cameras are good. Yeah, for now, all cameras are good. We seem to be going and freezing up and doing all sorts of fun stuff over here. So, let me know if there's a camera that freezes up on me. I'm sorry. But with the case, we are doing a Fantex P500, along with Fantex fans that are included here. So I got a couple of 120 millimeters. We may not actually be using those because I believe this one has 140s in the front. Unless they weren't RGB, I can't remember exactly what we're doing there. I do so many builds now, and I haven't opened the box yet with the case. TP Man, watching one get built to hype myself up for the one I ordered. Yeah, man. It's been a little bit of a as Mern probably knows, it's been slow over here because we've been slammed with lots of builds. So, and that's not a problem. And I will work through the problems and get it turned around as quickly as I can for right now. So if there are more orders than I can handle, I have a plethora of people that will come in and help over here. Very good friends that are also builders. So, and for the most part, I build all of them. That's probably the biggest bottleneck right now. It's morning somewhere. LOL. Yeah, I know. Definitely. Actually, a buddy of mine on the other side of the country that I was just working with on the phone, he's also it's morning over there for him right about now. So anyway, and this is like usually the only time we can chit chat. He's over in the Australia area, so super early in the morning over there. And right, with the build, we also have red and white colored cables here to go with Judge Drudge's theme, as well as black cable combs. So these will go good with his color theme, and because it was a build from Judge Drudge, that is why we went with this color theme. So without further ado, I'm going to move components around out of our way best I can, and then we can get started on the motherboard. I could switch to a top-down view if you guys prefer, with a side view, of course. I'll do top-down with side, and I call this camera over here rear, but it's actually not the rear. You're not looking at my butt. That'd be kind of weird. Yes, we would. Epic. Okay, so we got a top-down view, all the cameras in the world. There's also this view. I don't know which one you guys prefer. There's the multi-mega view. So you can see my face kind of distorted because the camera that I'm using isn't a Brio, and it kind of doesn't fit right. But you have all the views, so it looks really weird when I'm moving my hand around. Number one. Hey, Elizabeth, what's up, man? Hey, TP man, did you put your order in today by chance? No, not much, buddy. Oh, that's awesome. Wish I could have one of those nights. One of those nights, one of these days soon, right? That's called a vacation for me. Even on vacations, it's not a vacation, really. Probably M.2. Drill down there because we don't need that. Right on. So my goal yesterday, but my entire week kind of got sidewinded, was to put together the chatbot. I have some of the chatbot features already set up on here, but I don't have any of the messaging stuff that I wanted to do. So play around with the chatbot and let me know if anything's broken. But the Empower AI should respond. Random question, thoughts on the 40 series? Don't bother with the 4070 Ti. It's a ripoff. Although it is the same performance as a 3090 Ti, if not slightly better, in lower resolutions. Higher resolutions, the 3090 Ti still does better and is actually cheaper than the 4070 currently. So my recommendation when you're looking at a 4070, don't even bother with that. Put it in the bin and go to the 4080, or just buy a 3090 Ti. Stream Elements is better bot. Yeah, I'm gonna need some help probably setting that up, because I have played around with it for like 2 hours and have had little to no success. No, I'm the one with the RTX 40 in the... Oh, right. Gotcha, man. So that is the 48. Your 4080 actually is right there. It's in. We're waiting on the case. I told you that the case is actually taking a while to get here, but your 4080 is back here. So we got the 4080 in. That was easy. But now we're just waiting on that case. That case is kind of hard to get, so... So we're just waiting for the shipping on that. That's really all it is. And yes, we will be doing that stream. When it comes in, it'll probably be next week's stream, actually. Hit me up on Discord when we have free time. I will, definitely. If I didn't respond to you, then just message me again. I get a lot of notifications. My Discord notifications and my phone notifications and my emails, if I don't catch it, and the the weekend is when I go through all my messages. So if I don't catch it during the week, just message me again, and I'll most likely catch it a second time around. At least that's right now. So I apologize if I don't get back to you immediately. Throughout the day, I just have to tackle what I can, and then anything I miss, I go through on the weekend. Yep, I figured supply on the 4080s is better than the 4090. Yes, and actually we could get the 4090. It's just priced over MSRP by like $600 right now, so it's a ouch. The case is one fan short of an airliner. Yeah, I think all the cases are in this, but yes, that one, the Torrent, is a big case and it's got plenty of fan in it. Random questions, thoughts on the 40 series. I'm going back to that question because we kind of only talked about the 4070 Ti. 4080 is kind of like the go-to card right now for the 40 series. The 4090 is probably way overkill, and is way over expensive, and its availability is very limited. So you're going to be paying an extra $600 to get a 4090 than over MSRP. Unless we're lucky and we could get them, when they're in stock. And usually when they're in stock, they're only in stock, just like the 3000 series, they're only in stock for a few seconds and then they're gone. So they've been difficult to get, but still can get them if you need them. And we could definitely get them if you're willing to pay a $600 premium. And 4070, which was actually just leaked, is going to be about the same performance as a 3080. And it will be about the same price as a 3080. Sorry, if I said 4080, for clarity, 4070 is going to be the same performance as a 3080, for clarity, if I said that wrong. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. And those are all the 40 series that we have knowledge on. We have no knowledge on a 4060 performance yet, 4060 Ti, 38 or 4080 Ti, or any of those for that matter. We do not have any information on any of those yet, nor do I even know the release dates. It's just not clear yet. So when those come out, I will definitely keep you guys posted. Epic PC moment. Hey, there's commands to play some cool sound bits on the channel. And then I was actually playing around with a sound a bot outside of the chat bot. Coffin dance, there you go. You guys put me to bed? I figured I can sell a 12,000 overclocked and fractional torrent. It'll be good enough for 7950. Oh yeah, yeah. It'll be fine. It'll have some heat to it, but it'll be fine. I gotta move this. This thing, but at least it's there for me to chuck little bits into, right? So there we go, we got our CPU installed. Beautiful. Moving on to the RAM. Is this the Sax Man? By the way, I'm a big fan of the Sax Man. I have a buddy, his online tag was Sax Man. And we used to play that over and over on him. Alright, so we got our two 16 gigabyte sticks in. That's a total of 32 gigabytes. DDR4, 3600 megahertz. This is by T-Force Delta, or this is the T-Force Delta series by Team Group, rather. Great set of RAM. Honestly, the T-Force Delta has been one of my favorites to build with. So easy. Never had any issues with them. I don't think I've ever had a bad set of T-Force Delta. Ever. New out of the box, they've always been 100%. And if I am missing somebody who had an issue with one, please remind me. I don't run around saying that. How do I play that stuff? So if you look on the panel inside the channel, down below, it should be listed as a bunch of options you could select. Maybe Agent Smith can better explain it. Damn it. Why is this not magnetic anymore? Oh, got it. Thanks. Awesome. Yeah, there's quite a few different options there. Surprised nobody's really, like, found it. And I haven't found a reason to, like, put a cooldown on it. Nobody's really abused it yet. There are, like, cooldown options I can put in there. Get too crazy. Pretty cool. I just like it because there's, like, a little bit of interaction. And you can get my attention if I'm looking down too long. For putting this in upside down. Bruh.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Well, I didn't actually mess up. It was just upside down for a minute, that's all. Come on. Come on now. There we go. We got our 1 terabyte Gen 4 M.2 SSD in there. And our RAM installed, along with our CPU. Now this is actually funny. Personally, I've never put the Arctic Freezer 2 360mm addressable RGB in there. Lazy. So I've never built with this cooler before, is honestly what it comes down to. And I don't know the mounting situation. Seen it, read about it, they're just really hard to get. I've been a big fan of Deep Cool, so, and I've seen the ratings on these bad boys. I really like them, so we're going with it. So we're going to open this cooler up and find out if we need to deal with this mounting kit or put it in the case. Holy crap, look at this. This is kind of awesome. The fans come pre-installed on the radiator. Now that in itself is a W for me. They come pre-installed, although they may be, they might not be. It's gonna be the right way. So that is actually really awesome. I really like that a lot. You guys have no idea how happy I am for seeing. I don't think you guys understand. How many motherboards have the integrated audio outlined in gold? I'm seeing it all over with all the boards I've looked at. Most of them do, actually. I believe that's what you're asking about, right? No reason. Children. Okay. Now, one thing that's lacking here is instructions, because I want to just double check the AM4 installation instructions. I don't see instructions. I guess we just have to be knowledgeable enough. apparently, Arctic thinks you're just smart enough to install this if you bought it. Because, I don't have instructions here. So, side note, that sucks. But I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. Guys, this one says AMD. Right on the package. Wee AMD. This one's definitely more of a mounting screws. Don't know what these are. I believe these are for Intel, and the back plate for the Intel. Kind of dissecting what I don't need, for sure. This one I have no idea. Wish I paid attention to some of other people's videos. Ah, crap, I am so confused. Why does he do this to me? This is new. But no instructions. Am I crazy, or are there really? Okay, I have to be. It has to be. Where is it? I'm kind of baffled a little bit, but I like the brand and I like how cool everything looks, but no instructions? Really? Guess they expect you to just go online and look it up. Give me 1 second. Hey, J Manny, what's up? I'm gonna look up the AM4 bracket install here just to make sure I'm doing it right, because I just don't want to do it wrong. Perfecto. Wouldn't want to send a PC with a messed up bracket install.
A few moments later.
Yep, that is perfect. A few moments later, thank you. Do 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 do. Okay, so they want us just to remove this bad boy. Completely. At least the plastic brackets need to come out. Okay. Next. Okay. Then they want you to put the CPU in, but we did that first. You're just here lurking while editing. Yeah, no worries, man. All good. I appreciate the lurk. Kind of weird, but I always thought that name for lurking was weird. Like, kind of sounds dirty. Okay. So, for those of you who don't know, and if you run into this situation, it's going to be these two brackets here with the studs coming off of them. These are our AM4 brackets. What they want us to do here, though, is going to be determined by... We just use the plate on the back of the motherboard, the stock plate that comes with the motherboard. This is why it's important to know this kind of crap. And then we are going to take these two brackets that don't fit. Unless we go that way. I just want to double check because there's two holes on these brackets and I want to make sure I'm using the right one. So it's the one that's further away. Number one. Offset. Again, that is so confusing. I wish I could show you this, guys. I can watch streams now that have, oh, that you have fiber internet. Nice. So there's an offset, it looks like, that they're trying to make you follow. I see. So the top one, we are putting furthest, like so. It's just weird because they don't really define that, and again, no instructions, so that kind of sucks. You don't really have anything to work with. But anybody that, like, building for the first time and they're trying to put this cooler in, definitely understand you don't get instructions. You have to go look at video. I mean, it's their video, but you don't really find what's going on here very well. So just be aware. This one, they're saying all the way down. So these are two different offset holes they're making us use. Weird. Don't understand why. Wish I knew the why. So I'm gonna have to do some research on this. I figured this cooler would be a little bit easier to install, being award winning. And also I would have anticipated that it came with at least a one-page instruction manual with a couple of pictures. I just have to go look up a video. Okay. Next. We got the brackets at least installed, so that was the main piece that I was concerned about until we try to mount this. I actually have no idea how this mounts. Assuming it has something to do with these. They probably do something lines of this. That's the only way I could see that working. And that is such a weird way to install this thing. So confusing. But okay. I'll take it. For now. Yeah, those brackets are used, and then it does some... Then it's got 4 thumb screws here that we'll use. This is the weirdest way of installing this thing, though. Like, I don't understand why they had to go and do this in such a strange way. Still kind of baffled. I'm going to put these rails on real quick before we get into the case, because I just want to double check. Or go back and look at the video one more time. I think now that I have a really good PC, I can watch the stream and play a game at the same time. Nice! So no lag from the stream interfering with your game time. Well, that's a nice W. Ah. It is out. I think I checked. I would have done it the other way. So with this bracket, you put a screw through it, and then you put it here in the center, then you tighten it down, and then from here it's got 4 nuts that we're going to screw down. So for awareness, this could be a little confusing because there's no instructions. Skipped with it anyway. You can definitely find some really good videos online here, but an old school builder like me, I like to have the quick little how-to right in front of me without having to go look it up on YouTube and watch 5 minutes of video. I had to tell 2 people in class today to close some of their Chrome tabs because their Chromebook at school have like 4 gigs of RAM. Ugh, it's slow. Thank you for following. I appreciate the follow, sir. Rocket. There we go. We got our Arctic Freezer 3 ready to go. I'm a fan, but I'm not a fan of the lack of instructions, other than having to go get them from online, which isn't a deal breaker at all. So the performance better be as good as everybody says it is. Better be worth it. There we go. Next, we're going to get the case out, so I'm going to set this aside and get the case. Get the case popping. Hey there, big boy. By the way, Fantech's packaging is amazing. Whoa! What? Nah, they're good. Got buff against Chrome because they're the same energy. Yeah. 2 seconds worth of response times. Gee. Kind of slow. There she is. All her glory. This is the Fantech's P500. Absolute wonderful case. If you're looking for one. Very high airflow. One of my probably absolute favorites recently to build in. Outside of the Lian Li 011 or 11 Dynamic. Probably one of my favorites. Has slowly become more and more of my favorite because of how easy it is to build in this case. Now this isn't the original P500. This is the P500. The main difference is, as you just saw, that the rear panel here that I just took off is actually a door now. I believe the other one wasn't, the original. And then we also have, if you look closely on the side view, if I back this camera up a little bit. Hello, back this camera. Stop biting me, sure. Probably just gonna break this boom. But you'll see here we have a couple of different cable hiders here. This is pretty cool. Nice little door. Let me just switch the view. This is stupid. Here I am thinking I can make this work. There we go. You got this nice little door here, which hides all the cables. Pretty cool. So I could be really sloppy here and nobody would even know. Not that I would. But 2 great doors. I believe these are removable as well, if we need to, which I don't like them to be in my way when I'm building. I'm probably just going to remove them. They just lift off like any other door would, off its hinges. And We got this big box of case hardware. But there we go. We got our case out, and let's get the motherboard slapped in there. I think I did the extra 3 fans because I was going to try to do a push-pull. Yeah. Trying to do a push-pull on here. Epic cable management door. Yes. It's like bad Minecraft house built out of doors. Yes. I think my wife and daughter have done that a couple times. I'm just adjusting this camera so you can see kind of into the case here. And we could probably switch back to a top-down view. But for the most part, this case has got some excellent features. This one has the addressable RGB fans, I believe, included here. There's 2 different versions. There's a version that doesn't include RGB fans, and then there's a version that does. But these are 140 millimeter addressable RGB that are included. You've also got on the top here, top of the front of the case, this is actually an addressable RGB strip. And then also on the bottom side, glass panel side, you have an addressable RGB strip here. So some really cool RGB right out of the box. If you just slapped a 360 millimeter AIO, which is, by the way, supported on the top, and I highly recommend that. No more of this radiator stuff on the front. I try to avoid that. I want all the CPU heat just totally sent right out of the refocus, sent right out of the top of the case. I don't want that hot air being kind of circulated in the case. So top mounted CPU AIOs is what I prefer. Then I've also got that 140 millimeter case fan add-on. So we have another exhaust here, which is 140 millimeters. So we got a total of 4 140s. And then we have our AIO. I'm going to try to do push-pull, which is 3 additional fans on the top of this thing. 6 fans on the radiator. Big sandwich. Let's just double check the height. That was my main concern. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. This radiator is actually double thickness. If you look, it's pretty thick. It's thicker than fans. Thicker than 25 millimeter. For sure. So, not going to be able to do the push-pull, which I originally thought we could. Sorry. But instead I got you a 3070 Ti. So, a win-win. And that cooler is going to do good even with just the 3 fans. I just didn't realize how thick that cooler was. I knew it was thicker, but I didn't think it was that much thicker. But she's a thick boy. So next up, we could get this 140 fan in here on the rear, and then get the motherboard mounted, and then get the cooler mounted, and then start plugging crap in. This thing's got some nice little rubber dampers included. We're going to use those. Not this pile of crap. This one. Come on. Open up, you. And what this does is if there's any vibration coming from the fan, it will minimize that. I know you can't really see what I'm doing because I'm doing it off to the side. Got like 8 cameras in here and you can't see what I'm doing. Still trying to find a hiding spot. Let's see here. Why don't any cases keep their radiator separate? The main chamber. The OEM or Omen, gosh, 45L does it, but somehow it's the only one. So that is actually a concept that has not really been adopted yet. And I think it's because of case manufacturers trying to keep expense down. There are dual chamber cases out there currently, but the cooler is not part of the second chamber yet. I'm sure it'll get to that point. But right now, as of right now, it's just not enough of a need, or I guess improvement. Plus, you have to make it work with all of the original sized AIOs, or you limit what AIO can actually be put in your case, because then you have to have tubes that are long enough. For example, this one is really long. This is extra long length. Most of them are like here. So it's like an extra 6 inches here on this one. So this one, you could literally put this anywhere in the case and it won't matter. Although you want the radiator towards the top because you don't want any air getting trapped in the pump. So the pump is not the highest point of the loop, period, ever. What you don't want to happen. So, for the most part, making a dual chamber would be useful, but you would have that problem of it would have to be long enough for the tubes to go from the motherboard where the CPU goes to wherever the radiator is going, and then that puts it in kind of an awkward spot as well. But there are cases out there and custom open loop builds that literally run the liquid far away from its main core components, and then the radiators are really far away, pushing in different directions. So that design and thought is out there, has been done, and is very successful. Yes, it's a proof of concept that's already been proven, and now they just need to find a cheap way of making it a case, I guess. But if you look at the Lian Li 011 Dynamic and the Evo, that's technically a dual chamber case, because you have one chamber on the back for your power supply and storage, and the other chamber is for your CPU, motherboard, RAM, some storage, and your graphics card. That's really what's in the main chamber. That main chamber is also the hottest portion of it, and therefore has the majority of the cooling. So it also, but it does separate some of those parts from the main chamber from the heat. That does help. And it also kind of cleans up the build, so you're not staring at an ugly, big-looking power supply. It's hidden in the back, out of sight, out of mind, along with all its extra cables that come along with it. It's all hidden away in the back. But I think that design was more for aesthetics. But the way they set up the fans on that case and the options around it were really good. You had bottom intake, side intake, rear could be intake or exhaust, and then your radiator would be at the top normally for your CPU. And then if you have a second radiator for your graphics card or an open loop, it would be on the side. Sometimes the bottom. Especially in the 011 Dynamic XL. Top and bottom would be radiators, and then the side or the front would be a distro plate, usually, for your open loop builds. The 011 Dynamic XL. I've actually done one of those before, and that was probably one of the more easy open loop builds I did. I really enjoyed it. Struggled with the acrylic tubing that I was using, but nonetheless it was ended up being a solid build and is still, I believe, running awesome to this day. That is a quick explanation. So the end result is the reason why we don't have dual cooling chamber cases is because of cost and effectiveness with the current AIOs that are out there, coolers. You'd have to have a special cooler, and that limits who you're selling to in the crowd. And so that way it limits how much money you're making off of it. So it all comes down to money and cost. And then you would have to deal with all the returns when people don't read the limitations of, oh, I bought this and my cooler doesn't fit. Not long enough. and then they return it to you, and then you have to deal with it. So it's money in, money out, money in, money out. It's a lot of administrative work in the back end, trust me. Not for the returns, but in general. I've dealt with returns, and I don't like doing returns. I hate it. Just because of all the work behind it, and it also makes me sad when something has to be returned. So, I don't think I've ever had a return. Outside of, like, a part. A single part. Back when I was selling parts. There we go. We got a 140mm fan mounted to the rear. Nice and beautiful. And we got 3 in the front. So 140 is around. Up here. Okay. So now let's get the top off. Is it really just the one screw? I just want to make sure. I think it's just the one screw back here. That holds this entire top on. Okay, wrong. I thought it was. Well. This used to be easier, I'll admit. Want to make sure it's not like a removable rail. This newer P500A I haven't built in this exact one yet. This is my first one. But the older P500A, which I also really enjoy, I built in several times. So this is new. I don't recall this. Nor do I recall it being such a pain in the butt to remove the top piece. No way that's that difficult. It has to remove somehow easier. Oh, Jesus. So that just pops off. Ignore all those screws. You're a genius. Just in time for retro gamer time. So for awareness, this mesh just lifts right off. That easy. I was gonna say, it has to be toolless. There's no way that this top was screwed in or secured like that. So a couple new parts for me. Radiator in this case. But not too bad. Alright, so let's get the motherboard mounted actually first. I want to do that. Any last words for the motherboard? The Fantex, if you're not aware, has a wonderful toolkit or box. Not toolkit, sorry. Wrong terminology. Box of organized screws that comes with the case. Makes building this thing a breeze because all your screws come completely 100% organized, each compartment. Therefore you don't have to spend 5 minutes finding a screw in a pile of them. Pick it up, put it in. Pick it up, put it in. Need to be careful what I say there. Oh no, my grandma liked the stream. kidding, Grandma. So how's everybody else's night going? Anybody else out there doing a build? Got any questions? I was going to mention earlier, but the reason why... No. So I was going to mention earlier about the chatbot. Wanted to get more announcements in the chat from people come and go. You can at least get specifics around the build. Though the command, I think it's exclamation point build. Although I don't have it uploaded right now or updated. Would give you the actual build out that we're doing currently. That is the idea for that command. Just haven't gotten there yet. Or it hasn't become part of the process when I start stream. Alright, so we got all the screws in. Now, give you a better view of what's going on. I'm going to switch to the side view. But you could kind of get an idea of how big of a pain in the butt it is to mount a 300 AIO 2023. Really not that difficult. It's just a couple screws. Kind of a method to it. Come in and get it set up. But before I do that, I actually want to release some of these cables so I can make sure they're plugged in. Here's my thingamabopper. Where did they just go on there? They really just run down here. Connect. Oh my gosh, this thing's even more cooler, except for the mounting, which wasn't defined very well. I just need to get the screws ready. We're good to go. Okay. Here we go. What I would like to see in cases is more 420mm radiator support on cases. I know it's big and it just makes the case big, but there's not very many options out there, and when they are, it's really hard to get because of their inventory. So I guess a couple of options would be cool. I'm going to start one screw on one side and then another on this side. And then it kind of balances here well enough so that I can finish the rest of the screws. Simple. There are washers here. I probably should be using these because the slots for these screws are a little wide. Washer in there. But it ain't going nowhere. No way, sir. Oh boy. So, Ryzen 9 5900X, 32 gigs of RAM, X570S Edge, Wi-Fi, MSI, MPG, gaming motherboard, 1TB M.2 Gen 4, and that's by Inland. which is a Micro Center brand if you're not familiar with it. Highly recommend them. They're Gen 4s at the same speed as some of the Samsung Evos, 980s. Get for like $40 less. So throw that out there. Then you got Phanteks P500A, and this is the newer version, updated version with the addressable RGB on the front. And that's not fitting for me. Got the washer with the wrong size, which includes 3 140mm fans on the front. The additional 140mm fan I added to the rear is an addition. Does not come with the case. Just keep that in mind when you're buying, if you're buying this case. Nice case. Excellent airflow. Supports 360mm AIOs on the top, which I am a huge fan of, as you know. And the aesthetics of the case, along with the performance for the airflow, is just outstanding. The room it provides is an absolute pleasure to build in. If you're looking for a good experience while building, this is the case that will provide that. Very well put together. Similar to a lot of Leon Lee cases. They like them as well. Leon Lee and Phanteks, they have to be built by the same people. In my opinion, they all do a great job. Both of them do a great job. Huge fans of both of them. Chat frozen, or people just don't want to talk? I'd go with my chat's probably frozen. Refresh it. Refresh the chat just to make sure. I've been having some weird issues with the Green PC too. It's been doing some weird shit. You don't think it's frozen, but I don't know. I just refreshed it. And then, well, no, this chat, I've had it happen to me a couple times actually. It's my stream PC where cameras, as you saw earlier, my cameras freeze up on me, and I've had my chat freeze up on me in OBS, as well as like the whole app, but it's still streaming. So nobody really knows there's a problem on your end until I'm like, weird. Can't see myself moving anymore. Anyway, I peeled, just for awareness, if you ever build with this cooler, there's a little plastic peel here. I already peeled that one off, this one. So always make sure you peel those off on any cooler if they have them, or you apply it, because then you have to remove it, and it is especially a big pain in the ass when you're doing an open loop, because then you have to drain your loop, then you have to pull everything out to get to it. It's not cool. So just keep that in mind when you are building as well, when you throw this thing together, or when you're doing this process. So I prefer the little X pattern with the thermal paste. Today we're using Thermal Grizzly. What I use at all times. Little quick X pattern is probably more than enough, but I will just make sure we're hitting the edges. I want contact, as much contact as I can with this Ryzen 9 5900X, which is very hot a normal day. And Antec recommends this little fan. Can't see down. Change the view really quick. Top down, top down, top down. So they recommend this little fan being facing up. And the AM4 matches the 4 direct holes, whereas Intel would use the other slotted holes for the LGA socket size. And then there's these little thumb screws that come with the Antec cooler. We'll go to the studs that you just mounted this to, or pushed through the holes, and that holds it in place. We'll tighten these down. But it is very important when you are building these not to guess the mounting hardware, because some of them are gapped differently to match different socket sizes. So if I were to guess, and I guessed wrong, there could be too much of a gap or too much pressure my CPU or socket. So it's always important to make sure you have the right right hardware for your CPU and your socket. Question time. Something happened in chat, AMD or Intel? Question time to have something happen in chat, AMD or Intel. Oh, for me. Are you asking me if you want AMD or Intel? Or if I prefer AMD or Intel? Personally, my stream PC currently is running AMD, and I am struggling, but that's because it's also completely overloaded with too many cameras, too many mics, too many. I probably should be running a Threadripper. Not kidding. For the load I have on it, definitely probably be a Threadripper. I just don't want to do that. Go through the work. And that means also I have to upgrade my case to probably something like this, or the P600 actually. Would probably be what I get. And again, don't want to go through work right now. So, and it costs money. 299 right now, so I'm more on Intel side. Well, I will have soon, shortly, another show model that will be a Intel i9. So I'm personally running AMD. I have parts for an i9 show piece, kind of. Overclock Xeon, more cores and gigabytes of RAM. Epic. Nice. No overclock Xeons over here. So this thing actually has the fan cables running through the sleeve, back down here, and then the pump, it looks like it's tied to the same PWM connection, goes to the CPU fan header, and that's how it controls the pump. Header. Which is very interesting. I've never seen it done that way. Again, this is an award-winning AIO 2022. I will leave it at that and get back to you on what happens. Let's see what happens here. But I'll let you guys know how good it is compared to what I've been building with, which is mostly deep cool lately, and some Fantex coolers actually. There it is. That is our Arctic freezer. Now let's get some of these internal connections plugged in. Then we can slap the graphics card in there, do our little cables, and do a little bit of cable ties and power supply, and then we're done. That's it. I kind of feel like we're missing something. Okay. When you buy singles, it doesn't include the RGB, but thankfully this case has that. The RGB adapter. But you just need to find where it is. Bundle of joy. Aha. Found it. It's all the way down here. Will suck. So that is kind of a weird. I can pull this through. Hey, Marin. Thanks for the resubscribe. Appreciate you, buddy. I think I owe you a subscribe. So busy. So busy. I get my life together. Actually, owe you a bunch of stuff. Figuratively speaking. What kind of case is this? I think you say something about a hoodie. Do I owe you a hoodie? I think I had your hoodie over here for like a while, and then you never picked it up. Yeah. Doesn't reach. That's not cool. It's okay, though. I have things to solve this problem. I need to find where I put them. That's a solved problem. Got it. A note to self: when you buy the single 140s, you don't have the actual adapters that come with Fantech fans. Back does. You just supply those yourself. FYI. Kind of sucks. Another one of those that kind of sucks things. FYI to Fantex. That kind of sucks. I don't think it clearly states that on the listing either. Anyway, this is a Fantex P500A. Not Canadian A, it's the letter A. Oh. Now, I think we have fan 1 up. We have fan 1 and fan 2 up. So I need to rerun that cable. I'm just plugging in the front panel stuff where I can, as I confirm where things are. That was just the power button. This is the case and the front fan addressable RGB, which is 3-pin, 5-volt header. Going to J Rainbow 2 on the bottom. Then this is our HD audio header for the front panel. Somebody said hoodie. Somebody say hoodie? I didn't say. Did I say hoodie? Hey, I thought your audio was off, dude. And by the way, it just shipped. It literally just shipped today. So I got the notification. I'll send you the tracking so you can track it. I know I keep forgetting about it. Remind me before you come pick up this PC that you did order. Because I don't think it's here anymore. I think I ended up giving it to somebody else that needed one. Or that I owed. Well, not owed, but it was just one of those moment things. And then I was like, I'll reorder one for him. Because you weren't coming to get it. So I have to reorder yours. And yes, I need a merch store. My wife just told me. So technically that is on the website. But currently the merch on the website's down, pulled off the website because during the COVID, I was having a very difficult time getting the correct hoodies, the correct hats, and the correct t-shirts. So I just pulled them all off. But yes, no, I owe you a hoodie. I already know that. I will have a hoodie for you. If I order it today, it should be here by the time your build's done. Scotty's like, Scotty, yours... I don't know why it took so long for them to print or go up and send. Honestly. But I submitted that order before Christmas, or right after Christmas, I think. That's when I submitted it. Last but not least, our USB-C connection. So I will, this weekend, make efforts to get that merch back on the website so you can order it. For anybody that would like, Empower hoodie, t-shirt, hat. I think we had a couple other cool things in there. There, we got all our front panels, fans, and, well, minus one fan I forgot about. The front fans. Almost everything plugged in. Derpity derp derp. Yeah, we're just gonna go down here. Screw it. We'll just do it this way. Makes no difference. Other than in the software. That's fine. I'll run it. I'm going to put it on fan header 2 because that's the right thing to do. Okay? Because somebody in here is going to be like, well, Ben, that's not the right way to do it. So instead of fan header 3, we're going to fan header 2. And then it's CPU, fan header 1, fan header 2, all filled out. Nice and neat. Okay? Doing it. Got to rerun the cable. Cool. Now it's done. Huh. I don't get any special treatment anymore. I miss the old Ben. Dude, I gave you the special treatment and then it sat here for 2 years. Well, at least a year. It's so old that it had the old logo. So that's my way of making sure you have a new logo. If you want one with the old logo, I'll give you one with the old logo. Hey, there's my butt. This camera was being naughty. Alright, so now we're kind of ready for the graphics card, I'd say, and then we could do the cables. Yeah, I'm going to call you out. You kept telling me you were going to come and get it. You told me you were going to come hang out in one of the streams one day. You were at least coming here for your build stream? Where did I put the graphics card? Here it is. 3070 Ti. This is the MSI Gaming X Trio. Right? X Trio? Yep. So it's got 3 fans. One looks like it has a little bit of a wobble. Wibble wobble. Yeah, let's schedule it. I'll come out, hang out. All right. My first stream moderator live. I'm leaning in to make sure it goes in the hole. So pardon me. It looks like it has a little bit of a bow. Or is that just me? Does that look like it has a bow? Like bowing like a U here? Or maybe that's just the card design. It's screwing with my eyes. I don't have very good eyes anymore. Glasses help. Ah, that's what she said. Giggity. And just so you're aware, J Manny is local. Longtime friend. So anybody's welcome to come by if you guys want to hang out. I don't care. You just got to make the drive. Alright, so graphics card installed. Weird bow look is definitely on the PVC here, the board, for sure. So it's not really reflected elsewhere. Might be because of the weight of the card, maybe. I don't know. I've seen it like that before, but not that bad. Gotta look at it from afar. Well, we do have a whatchamacallit, a GPU bracket, which I am planning to utilize. And that will help with it. The problem is we will not be scratch on it. Won't be shipping this card installed. We'll be shipping this card uninstalled. So, my man, if you're watching, who's receiving this build, pay attention to that install that we just did there. Somebody wanted the clip like 5 minutes back. That'd be cool too. I don't know how those buttons work. I will probably grab that and clip it myself. Where are we at? 1 hour 26. Can't believe it's already been 4 years since I met you. I know, it's been a while. Thanks, Manny. Did it actually clip? Maybe that's not working. Anyway, so I'm not going to put the bracket in right now. I will put that in a little bit later, but I will be putting that in, or recommending that that goes in. Now, our red, white cables for the Drudge theme. Beautiful red and white cables. We also have our black cable combs we're going to be using. Got a piece of tape sitting on the thing. I want to remove that. Gross. Weird. So, red and white. Going with Judge Drudge's color theme, along with the black. which, by the way, we have some really awesome cables coming for his build from Cable Mod, which we are waiting on. Cable Mod, for your awareness, closed, doing upgrades to their facilities, and sucks because they are closed for quite some time. How did I mess this up? Hey, let's keep trying to mess this up the best we can. Kind of feel like a football team not making forward progress. There we go. That is really our targeted color. Red, white, black. Red and white more dominant. To stand out anyway. And that kind of gives us our theme that we're going with for Judge Drudge. Pretty colors. These cable combs do take a minute, but they are worth it for the aesthetics. Once I have it in there, you're going to be like, ooh, oh, pretty. Sorry, my eyeballs have to be facing down. If there's something exciting happening, just make sure you make it run a sound bit and get my attention. Who would do that? Almost done with the 24 pin. Probably just start doing these like off stream beforehand and have them ready to go. And I say that pretty much every build. I just never do it because if I have to suffer through it, so should you. Kidding. There we go. Nice and pretty cables. I kind of bend it into shape and then make sure it's not kind of poking out where it shouldn't be, like that one here. Kind of don't want that, so we're going to send the extra black down the line. Back. Oh, now don't you be fighting me now. Get in there. Oh, fancy. Fancy enough for you? CPU 8 pin and 4 pin. Options next. GPU. GPU. 4-pin. Probably should have came at this the other way. No problem. We make it work. There we are. Full 8-pin plus 4-pin. Now we've got two 8-pin connections for the PCIe on the graphics card. Then we're off to the power supply and we plug this bad boy in and we fire it up. We do have a little bit of cable management to do, but not too bad. Especially in this Fantex case, it's super easy. Makes quick work of your clear. Oh boy. So there's a logo on these cable combs. I don't want to put them in upside down, and I keep doing it. Especially the ones that are busy. I don't seem to catch myself until after I'm done. Don't want an upside down logo. That would drive me nuts. Beautiful. Almost done with the cable ties, guys. This is probably the most boring piece of the build. I'm sorry. I mean, most exciting part of the build. Cable combs, not cable ties. Did I say cable combs or did I say cable ties? When you buy cables that already have cable combs on them, that is like the best thing ever. I think cable mod cable combs come installed. No. I have to slide them into position. Hey. Almost there. Oh. Oh. So magnificent. Oh. Let me give you a side view of this bad boy, because I just have to show it off. Here's my shoulder. It's so beautiful. Clean. These little plastic pieces here, you can slide forward to kind of hide some of the back when you have all your cables done. Nice little cable hider. That I like to hold. I get to hold some of the cables in place. It looks clean. Nice and clean, huh? Alright, so let's go ahead and get this power supply installed. Goes through the back door. We might want a back door view. We'll probably give you the best view. Because we're just going to go through this back door here. Oh, the camera moves, by the way, because the boom doesn't like to stay put. It's a mobile camera. Just starts running away whenever it decides it wants to. Hi. Hi. That one didn't go all the way. Oh, what? Do 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 do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and plug in probably the majority of these cables, simply because we want to just keep them safe for travels. We don't want them lost. Even though it is a modular power supply, you could keep the majority of these cables out and keep the basement clean. But in this case, honestly, don't know how many times he's going to be going in. Oh. So to ensure that all the cables are right where they should be, 1 year from now, for example, if he goes to add more storage or upgrades a graphics card, all the cables will be right where they should be. So that's why I do this in a lot of builds, especially with modular power supplies. Because what I don't want happening is somebody not having a cable, going on eBay, buying something random, plugging it in, and frying their power supply by mistake. Because they lost the cables that originally came with it, that are in a package somewhere that maybe got thrown out or whatever. Whatever might happen. So that is why I am putting all the cables on the power supply. Minus the one extra PCIe, because you can switch from either an extra CPU connection, which we're going to use 2. You can either do 4 PCIes and 2 CPUs, or 1 CPU, or 3 PCIes and 2 CPU on this power supply. And so we are doing 2 CPUs and 3 PCIe. Why I threw that other cable over there. Hibbity. A lot of acronyms all at once. Boy, if this takes any longer, I'm going to need a Coke. Some sort of caffeinated beverage. I'm kidding. We're running out of energy. I can feel it. My age starting to kick in. Also, I kind of need a sort of rubber pad down here for my feet. And I have this new floor in. It feels like you're standing on concrete. Not very comfortable with the shoes. So that would definitely help. Like a nice standing pad. Feels like I'm sitting on sort of a cloud. All things I gotta do for the stream. Alright, so fan down. Fan down! Because we got ventilation on the bottom of the case, so putting the fan for the power supply facing down. What I meant by that. I'm gonna hold this on first, but didn't think of that. Made much more sense if I did that. And there we are. Now we're just going to feed these cables through the big hole, side of the hole. And then there's 2 thumb screws here. There. 1 and 2. Switch back to the other view. Probably the top down with the side views is going to be good for the situation next. And so now we have to fight through the rest of this. No, it's not actually that bad. It's actually pretty easy. What I do is kind of start cleaning a little bit of this up best we can. Which, I mean, it's already pretty clean. So there's not a whole, like I said, there's not a whole lot to it. Cable management. In this case, there's a huge hole that you can see or notice a bunch of cables, so I am going to probably zip tie these a little bit. They're not like dangling in front of the hole. It's noticeable. Come on. Fighting with me. Make it nice and pretty. Best we can. Alright, so we have two CPU connections in front towards the top here. With this. I'm going to run these real quick. Pop this key out. Right. Then and start on the bottom side of it. Sorry if my hat's in the way. I just realized I am leaning pretty far over. Not cooperating well. Yep. This can go. Make. Ready? Getting there? Hey, pizza dude. How's it going tonight? Well, we're trying to build Drudge's PC giveaway build. We're at the tail end of it here, actually. We're just finishing up the cable connections in the back, and we'll fire this bad boy up. How about you? How's it going for you? How you doing? Something. Oh. It doesn't pop loose. Or try to bounce to the front of the cage. Want to avoid. Barely. Okay, so the last piece, three pieces. J connections, then a SATA connection. Two. My PCIe connections, just vibing. My guy, tired but vibing. I hear you. I am right there with you, sir. Week has been one hell of a week. I'm glad we're on the Thursday. It's Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday. Glad we're here finally on Thursday. Because, man oh man, one hell of a week. Not like pedal to the metal, just energy draining tasks that don't require a lot of energy per se, just mental capacity, I guess. Doing things immediately well. Not out because got some stability in there now. Alright, so the last thing is tying up the remaining extra cables that we have in here. Stuffing them in there. As neat as we possibly can do it. We have one more piece of Velcro we can use here. And more if we need. In this case, I just can't wait to test this thing out. Freezer 2 from Arctic Cooling. We're excited to try out for the first time. Gotcha. Yeah, dude, it's been a busy week. Again, not complaining because of anything here or the builds. Love the builds. Love it. Love that it's growing. Other little tedious tasks like, why are my parts not here? And then having to track them down, and then dealing with that kind of stuff, or dealing with financial companies that don't quite get your money, hold your money a long period of time. Because they're afraid of chargebacks. They're like, well, you could have chargebacks, and it's like, over the last, I don't know, couple of years of me doing this, any chargebacks. Only one, and that was because some asshole decided to try and steal my credit card, buy a PC. It was successful, so I got screwed out of, it was like $100 because of a chargeback. Nothing I could do. Let's eat it. But now I have that resolved with the merchant. Now they have chargeback protection stuff, but they like to hold my money for it. That's not really chargeback protection, it's just not giving me any of the cash flow until after the fact. Alright, so let's stand this bad boy up and get the front and top panel on, alright? Just business problems. That's the exhausting. Building the PCs, and streaming, hanging out with you guys, that's the enjoyable portion of it. That's what I enjoy to do. Doing. Just the business side is exhausting. Oh yeah, I forgot. New case has the panels. Let's throw those on there really quick. Let's flip this back down really quick. I want to show you what it looks like. Because, I mean, it looks pretty clean with the cable management. So I did a good job, right? I did a good job. Tell me I did a good job. Putting this down upside down. I think so. How could it have been? Same thing. Now. That, right? Joe Crane. How did this one go? Oh yeah, down here. Freaking out Crane that is. Can't even notice. No cable share. That needs a zip tie. You can tell when I do the zip ties, I'm not doing it like super close to the header. I'm doing it kind of further up so I can pull header or a connection off. There's enough wiggle room for me to play around with it without having to undo that zip tie. Pro tech tip. Okay. So I'm going to stand this up, get it plugged in. Switch to the side view. Okay. And we'll fire this bad boy up. Hello. So we've got the back side here. Oops. All these. Well, that fell. Kind of just gone out and just bye. HDMI for our monitor. Got audio. RJ45 for the nuts. You ready for this? You want me to get rid of some of the light? There it is. Might help flip the switch on the power supply. It glows. It glows very nicely. Get an RGB tan from this thing. Beautiful front mesh with a nice design to it. You can see like the little square here, like a I don't know, imprint of some sort there. But it's got a nice little square look to it. Cool looking. RGB on the top. Can't quite see. There you go. The RGB top here. And on the side, like I was kind of pointing out before, got this RGB strip. Beautiful. And we've got a post. So one of the next pieces for the stream, Marin already knows about this, and I'm sure a few of you have heard me talk about this. I do have a capture card. I promised you guys I would have this up and running. Still haven't dealt with it because I actually tried and found out the capture card I have is not going to work for what I want to do because of my USB problem. So I need to get a different capture card that is more like a hardwire version that I could just plug into HDMI and then run it as if it was a monitor, capturing a monitor from a monitor, so to speak. If that makes any sense. So I have to fix that, and I will get that up and running. But then you'd be able to see the screen, which I think would be add a cool feature to the stream. So eventually, I will get there. Turn that back on. There we have it. This is Drudge's giveaway PC. This was already given away. He already did his drawing. It was already won. So we already have a destination of where it's going. So I'll be probably shipping this out. This will probably go out Monday. This is currently where we're at. Got to go through the battle tested phase, do the software side, all the drivers, make sure everything's running good. I do want to test this cooler, actually extra test the cooler, because first time I built with it, so kind of want to put some load on it and see what it does, and I will report back. And if this is a good cooler, minus the fact that it doesn't come with very good instructions outside of just going out and finding the videos that they supply, doesn't come with any instructions whatsoever. Actually, But outside of that, I mean, this is a great cooler, and it's going to keep our temps cooler. I'm going to probably switch over to this one as a recommendation from the current LT 720 by Decool. Well, guys, I was planning to try to do a second build, but tonight I am running out of juice. It's 10:15 p.m. Hey, J Manny, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Pizza dude, nice. Thank you. Hey, let's go. Vern, thank you. So I appreciate all you guys. GG, Ben. I appreciate you, Scotty. Again, I'll send you your tracking, Scotty. Get some rest, homie. Yes, sir. I needs it. I've got a big build weekend, and if I cut the stream short here today, I can send you your stuff. that's the trade-off here. After you text me back, oh yeah, my phone's over here somewhere. Sorry, it's over in this pile of crap. Look over there, or over there. Let me know when you're doing the stream. I will. So we just got to get all your parts in. It's still waiting on that stuff. Once all the parts are here, I can give you an actual date. But as of right now, we're kind of looking at next Thursday. So that is that's where we're at. J Manny. So probably going to be a Thursday night stream unless for some reason something else comes up. And I have to reschedule a stream to like a Friday or Saturday. We could do that if you wanted. If you wanted to do like a Saturday stream, then we could have it pretty much done and ready to go same day for you on Saturday. You don't obviously have to hang out for the whole build though. Whatever you want to do, man. All right, guys. GG's. Thanks for hanging out, liking, and sharing the stream if you did. I appreciate all of you. And just a quick thing on the $1 PC sale. As you guys have noticed, there's the new bar on the stream above the chat on the screen there. That helps kind of push towards the goal of the $1 PC. So if you want us to do another $1 PC, it helps me get to that point. So the community pot, so to speak. So 100% of the earnings from the stream is going to the $1 PC. So anything I'm making right now is going to $1 PCs. So I appreciate all of you. And some more announcements on that is coming up soon. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Bye. See you, Manny. Hey, Minnie.